That's how every stream should start. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Hey, I am Sam Proof. You may have seen my face like one other time on the Mobcrush channel, but get ready to see so much of it. And this chick, that's Nikki.
Oh, this camera. Hi.
All right. Joining me today, the guys from RKVC, Vince and Rod. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Man, we were just buckling in for the holidays.
Yeah.
Last week before Christmas, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were just telling a friend the other day, it's hard to feel like Christmas in California.
No, yeah, it is.
It still ends up being hectic because there's like 100 things going on.
But at the same time, like, the town is
empty.
Like a ghost town.
That's my favorite part, though.
I used to live,
I'm assuming you guys grew up somewhere snowy then.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm from Florida, so this is just what Christmas is like.
Yeah. Well, so it's not even the snow, though, because I feel like maybe it's the economy or something. I see less and less decorations. Like, it's almost like a...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little more this year.
Oh, really?
Than
Last year was
Christmas
pretty
fever's
void,
going down.
yeah.
Well, there was also rain last year, so I might have just, like, kind of not even associated with Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, the first year we moved here, we made a specific decision to go to the Grove. Like, Seth MacFarlane has that concert he used to do every year. And he had, like, a big band, and they made it snow. They still make it snow at the Grove in Americana.
Yeah. But it's like bubbles.
Yeah,
it's like suds.
Have you
seen it?
No.
So, the Americana
really?
or the Grove, 7 and 8, until Christmas every night, it snows twice. It's worth going, I think.
That is super cool.
They play
really
really like on the nose music, like it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
No, that's too many bars.
You don't expect it to actually like fill the entire air either, because it's like foam. So you're thinking it's just going to kind of like come out and fall down.
Yeah, like
but it travels.
It travels,
yeah.
and it fills the entire sky. It's great.
Don't inhale too hard though, because for the first like 30 seconds, everyone's like, "Oh wow!" And then the people who haven't seen it before are like, "Ah."
Yeah.
I don't think it's toxic. I think it's just something entering your lungs.
That's that shouldn't be.
Yeah. I mean, it's soap, right? It's
You can eat it.
I don't know what it is.
Everything's edible if you really believe in it.
everything's.
Maybe I should stand in the sun.
That's
area.
what.
Just accept it. Embrace it.
Yeah. I just realized I had this like thing right in front
Oh yeah,
of my face.
we put you right in the sun thing. I thought we fixed that, didn't we? We
the sun's
blocked.
also
So we
moving.
blocked. I wish we had another camera that came the other way. We blocked the sun with a light and then turned that light off. What's going on in the chat, everybody?
Hello.
We
What's
got
going on?
people in Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
I should
and
stop
Mobcrush.
staring at the sun because now I can't read the chat.
Right. The moon landings were fake. What's up, Janica?
From Germany. So we just got, I'm going to say this wrong, a subscriber of ours sent us Springerl.
A Springer roll.
Yeah, you definitely said that wrong.
Springer? I don't know how to say that. They have a niece in it.
Yeah, the
Those are
Springer roll cookies are, it's like a certain rolling pin that has designs on the pin itself.
Oh, I've seen that.
And then when they roll it out, I guess it's like the finishing roll gives it all the patterns and everything, and then when they cook it off, it breaks into squares. It was interesting. There has to be a story behind it too, because they're very intricate.
They're all like either
pictures.
square or rectangle, and then they have like it's like folk stories or something.
It's like a guy with like wheat under his arm, like walking a donkey, and then like
and this
a bunch of those kind of
This
things.
specific batch we got, he had actually ordered from like a 100-year-old bakery in Indiana, which is really random. It's not random now that I think about it; it makes sense. But they sent it over, and they had a whole like pamphlet of like the story behind it. We just haven't taken the time to like read everything.
It's really cool, and I'm a huge fan of that.
Pastry.
It is, and one thing I did read in there, they said that the patterns, the pin for it is like as old as like the family lineage or something. It's like 150 years old that they use on this thing.
And I don't know if you guys are fans of black licorice.
Oh yeah.
Or just the taste of black licorice. Me too. I'm like a huge fan of that.
Yeah, we have this huge thing of Jelly Belly, like jelly beans.
Yeah.
And like everyone's like, nah. We'll just throw those out. I'm like, no, throw them out.
Really?
Oh wow.
You should, Sam. You should just have like your little thing that says like Sam on it, and everybody just throws the black ones in there.
Black licorice.
Yeah.
But that's what these cookies taste like because they have anise oil in them.
Yeah. Everyone in my family loves good and plenty.
Oh yeah, and that's the same thing, right? And I totally get that. Like you grow up with something that everybody else liked, and you don't like the taste, and like everybody else is like constantly eating it. That's like sardines for me. Like my sister will literally open a can and eat them out of the can.
Oh, that's weird.
And to me, that is way weird. Like even like pizza, like even Caesar dressing has anchovies in it too.
We forgot to disclose Vince's sister's a mermaid.
Oh.
Yeah, she's actually part seal. It's a long story.
For me, it's curry.
Curry?
Yeah, I can never get behind curry. And the thing, it's weird, because for me, like, there's like no taste memory. So like I've tried curry 20 different times, and every time I'm like,
nope.
Don't know. Who knows what this is gonna? Because it's like, what's in this?
Maybe
and they're
like
like, it's just all these different spices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but what is this flavor? I need to.
Because they always
they
always just describe it as yellow curry powder.
Right.
I can't do curry because one time I had yellow curry on an airplane and it was awful. And so now it's just ruined for me.
No.
Airplanes is like the worst place to try.
Airplane food, am I right?
Well, for new things, because even if
First
they
world
had
problems.
even if they had the best food on Earth, I guess something being that high and like in a pressurized cabin like deadens all your senses.
Oh, really?
So it's like a bad place to try new things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A bad place to try new things.
It's a
kind of like that.
It's sequel to Wrong Things, Right People?
Yeah.
Is that a segue? Should we do a song already? I feel like it's too early.
Yeah,
I didn't even really introduce you guys.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this thing. So RKVC, you guys are musicians.
Yep.
You are mob crushers. You have been multicasting on all the platforms and do that. What's the latest with your music?
Ooh, music in general.
What?
Well, because we spent like a little over a year doing so much social media.
Yeah.
And we like blinked and we were like, we haven't put
Actually
new music
made
out.
new stuff.
Yeah. And so in September we had a song release event that you were at.
Right.
And that's when we found out Sam knows everyone in Los Angeles.
That's accurate. I've been here a long time.
Well, because we were setting up and there were some problems with the sound. And then Sam got there and we were supposed to like work out because Mobcrush sent some merch and Sam to help stream for us and everything. And then we were going to introduce him to Mike from Tiny Sponsor, who was the main sponsor of the event. Yeah, and so it was like, oh, we don't have time, blah, blah. And we saw them chatting. We're like, good, they know each other. Okay, now we can keep working on stuff.
And
there were actually people there that I like never met that I know.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Like Instagram friends.
Right.
Like, Andrea, what's her name?
Andrea.
She's a little white girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Oh.
People in LA.
People on Instagram.
Instagram.
Why can't I think of her last name?
Yeah, I'd have to pull up her Instagram, but I'm not going to do that.
That's
right now.
another thing about like people on the internet too, is you don't necessarily remember their full names.
No.
Oh yeah, I know people's usernames more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now everyone on YouTube, which is like a relatively new thing, everyone's getting rid of their usernames and putting like their actual
That's really interesting, yeah. But so that's along with the same. We had that song release event because we were like, we haven't released something in such a long time, and it went surprisingly well. I guess Well, I say surprisingly well from our perspective because the night before was my birthday, and all I wanted was get blackout drunk.
Oh yeah.
And
you
so
succeeded.
We did that, yeah. And I woke up that morning and I was like half contemplating calling Mike, a Tiny Sponsor, and being like, what would it? Maybe we won't do this. I don't know if it can survive this. But then we got to the event and I was like, you know what? Most of these things in LA, bands play, and then everybody just kind of chit chats and everybody's like paying attention. The second we started playing, all the attention shifted up front and it was dead. You could hear pins drop.
Yeah. You played really quiet now.
But everyone's focus changed. I was like,
yeah, it was great. It was really cool. It was a nice little thing.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. It's just I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, nobody's gonna pay attention.
Right.
Every single person.
Everyone
like the people like bartending stuff were like, okay.
It was like that for everyone too. We had a few performers.
Oh yeah.
Ali Spagnola and Megan Tonjes
and Kat McDowell. Yeah, and all of them. It was a funny space because us and then the three of the girls. All of us are musicians, but we've all met each other through the social space.
Right.
So besides maybe Kat, that might have been the first time all of us had seen each other play live.
True.
Oh sure.
And even Kat, I don't even think there was there was an official performance. We didn't see her at Hotel Cafe.
Yep.
But besides that, like we were all like, oh, that's right. This is what we did.
Yeah.
So this year,
we realized we're musicians.
After that, we made a conscious decision. Actually, partially thanks to Mobcrush and letting us live stream on more platforms, to stay more connected with our audience by live streaming more, but then doing less like VOD content, like less like uploads of particular video challenges and things, so we can work on more music.
Right.
And everyone's been very, very supportive of that.
Yeah. So what is your live streaming strategy like? What kind of stuff do you do? Is it more just like hey, let's just hang out and chat, or do you do live music too?
A lot of it is kind of like really growing the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
And if we can get like 1,000 hardcore fans, that would be like ridiculous. Like I would rather take 1,000 hardcore fans than 1,000,000 fans.
Sure.
That are kind of not in it, you know.
Yeah. So far we've been like pretty faithful to doing every Sunday night at 11 p.m. LA time.
Okay.
Which ends up being like 3 a.m. for most of the East Coast.
Yeah. But they enjoy that.
But yeah.
It's weird.
And
I guess I would too, though.
We end up just like hanging out. We've threatened to play a little bit, but
we keep kind of nudging the playing off because we've been trying to get done these video projects again, like pushing the music off for other things, which is like against our well-being for as musicians.
I see it as a different thing. Like we've actually taken a lot of time to do more music. Like,
I mean we've put out 3 already
after
by the end of the year.
After that, Wrong Things, Right People. I think what was it? At the end of October, beginning of November. No, it was beginning of November because the 3rd anniversary of us being in LA. We put another song out from the same album that Wrong Things, Right People is going to be from. And then after that, we put out our version of Jingle Bells.
Nice.
Like maybe 3 weeks after that or something. And then not even 1 or 2 weeks after that, we put out a collaboration song with Scott Nicewander from NerdSync.
Okay.
And it was his first music release ever. He kind of does like it's somewhere between like rap and like spoken word, kind of like a Hamilton thing on his side.
Oh, I'm interested.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Well, and
I'll send you the link.
That was a really great thing. And so that's the very latest thing that we released, and that was kind of cool because it actually started like almost 2 years ago when we first met everybody from NerdSync, and I say everybody, it's Scott, but but he had this idea of like it'd be funny to do like a Hamilton parody of something that has to do with Spider-Man because I have a video coming up about Spider-Man. So I was like, sure. And we're not really used to like the satire parody. Like even on YouTube, we don't do covers. We don't do satire parody stuff. For the most, we have a really aggravating Thanksgiving song that was just something else.
But that seems fitting though.
Yeah, right. But he had mentioned that. So one day at Starbucks, I made like a beat and played piano, and then we got home and I recorded some vocals.
Nice.
And he had mentioned like, what does it feel like to be Peter Parker? So we released that. So I sent him the music, and he was like, this is way too serious to be a parody. I was like, because it would be a parody, right? He was like, no. I guess he had connected the element that we had chosen for Peter Parker in the song with his own anxiety issues.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he just started writing about dealing with anxiety day to day.
Okay.
And then the song's called Anxiety. And it ended up, we still brand it under like inspired by Spider-Man. Right. It's very much about Scott, and I recently discovered I probably have some anxiety issues as well. So it's very emotional.
I think that goes hand in hand with Los Angeles as well.
Oh, yeah. And the funny thing is, Scott's NerdSync is in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's out here a lot.
Yeah.
So I just think like creating for the social media space is very stressful. So
sure.
There was a moment in creating the song. Okay, well, everything has been real heavy ever since we decided to make it a serious thing. This song, Anxiety, and all of us suffer from it. So I was like, how can I play? Because I wanted to incorporate my guitar playing in the track because Rod had created most of the music, and then him and Scott wrote all the lyrics. I'm like, what is my contribution to this track? So we ended up finding like something that worked really, really well, and I hope that gets you guys excited enough to go listen to it. So we'll have to like throw it in the chat.
We're not playing that one today.
We are not playing that one.
We also don't have Scott here.
No, but again, a terrible segue.
Yeah. But what's nice about live streaming and this and Mobcrush stuff and everything is like we can just start. Like even today, like we're just kind of figuring things out. If only you got some of you on Scott. Sam's live stream.
I can go back. It's whatever.
On
Sam's, that's fine.
On Sam's live stream, saw some of like the setup.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing. We're like, do we have the thing? No, we don't have the one connected.
Yeah.
But we're learning, and we're starting. So we already like decided on like a bunch of other things we'll do next time.
Nice.
So I'll bring the keyboard in.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Setup.
I honestly would rather it be this way.
Yeah.
Because who wants to like come into something everything's completely set up and done? There is no like, let's get together and try to figure this out. Like the same thing with like going into school for audio. Like Rod, you have a degree in music, and you spent a lot of years in the studio. I don't have a degree in music, but I spent a lot of years in the studio, and nothing ever works right. Yeah. So it actually makes you better because you have to figure it out. Yeah,
that's kind of how live streaming is as well. It's like no matter what it is, something will fail, and it's a different thing than last time.
It's so crazy how the problems occur too, and then the solutions are even more crazy sometimes.
It's funny you say that. I know this keeps sounding like a sales pitch for Mobcrush, but it's part of the reason why we love all you guys. Because when we first started live streaming, which is probably a year before we met everybody here, we didn't know, but everybody kept telling us YouTube. Everybody kept telling us like, you need a live stream. And we're like, we don't know how this works. We barely figured out YouTube because we're songwriters, like. And then we started live streaming. You watched those first live streams. I remember the reason we live streamed that one time is we were hitting like something crazy, like our 500th video or something. We're like, we're gonna do something special, but we were so busy. It was the morning of upload. And we're like, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. Let's make the 500th a live stream. And we just turned the camera on, and it's about good 15 minutes. It was like, where does this go? The thing fell over.
Yeah, things are falling over.
Yeah. Oh God.
And then we're like, oh, the whole thing. And
Good thing I wore pants.
That went on for like a couple months. Where every week we're like, let's try this again, guys. Like,
constant struggle.
And then
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Then we finally figured out like it's something that kind of worked, and when everybody liked to live stream. And then we met Phil, and he gave us the initial beta of Mobcam.
Right.
It flipped everything. So I remember very specifically, we were at Digital Hollywood because Phil was speaking and we were speaking on 2 separate days, but we had met up. He gave us the beta, and it was so easy to use that we accidentally started live streaming to all of our platforms.
Right.
Like, we were just like setting it up, like, cool, why is this image? We're live. Hi, everybody. And it just flipped. And so, now that stress is kind of taken off.
Yeah,
and
that's
good.
Like,
here we go.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the live streaming, Sunday nights are always like our hangout with the subscribers, so we haven't really played on there, but we used to play a little bit when we were testing out things, and we're going to get back into it in the middle of the week. We haven't figured out like the setup, because we figured out today, like there's like a setup that goes along with it. We just got to figure out something.
No, and the difference from like doing it through Mobcam, which is super easy compared to doing it on the computer with OBS, is 100 wires. And speaking of Phil, he's in the chat room from Vegas right now.
Hello from Vegas.
What's up, Phil?
Vegas?
Yeah.
Hi.
I guess we should address the chat room really quick. What's up, Mackenzie? And Superman and Chester.
Oh, in the Philippines.
Janica's in the kitchen.
Everybody's from everywhere.
Yeah.
That couch looks really comfortable.
That's Janica. The Philippines, Spain, Vegas, and Germany all checking in. Thanks, guys. You want to do some songs?
Sure. So we were talking about Wrong Things, Right People.
Yeah.
We haven't played this live before.
Okay.
So this would be cool.
All right.
So it's not making excuses. I think it's okay.
We literally worked out an arrangement today.
On our way here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the little behind this song, we've been closing our videos for the last couple of years with "Don't forget to do the wrong things with the right people."
Nice.
It kind of stemmed from we were hanging out with some really good friends of ours really late at the Glendale Galleria, and they always kick us out of the parking lot because we're not supposed to be there that late.
Right.
And so we were vlogging, and of course, and someone had said something like, "We're not supposed to be here." And I was like, "Well, it's not where you are; it's who you're with." And our friend Michelle, she started laughing. She's like, "That's so cheesy." I was like, "Oh no, it's about doing the wrong things with the right people." And then it just kind of like stuck because we're all f-ups. Yeah. But we can be around the right people doing it. Then that's what this is.
It makes it worthwhile.
Also, this is kind of autobiographical about each of us.
Right.
I guess so. Yeah.
It seems to fit.
Cool.
That's awesome.
We'll set up and do some playing.
Let's give it a shot.
Cool.
Hopefully some subscribers from our channel are watching because they're like, "You haven't played on your channel yet."
Now's your chance to hear us. There we go. All right.
My best friend looks in love with one night stand.
My best friend always falls for the crazy ones. Yeah, you do.
We all got problems, but I find the best ones with you.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
We do the
Wrong things,
but it always seems to be with the
right people.
Trouble loves good company. The
Wrong things,
work out just fine with the
right people.
do the wrong things with the
Right people.
You borrow money even though you know that I'm broke too. Yeah, it's cool.
You borrow money that you know you're just gonna lose. Yes, it's true.
We'll owe each other forever, so I'm stuck with you.
Ow! Wrong things,
But it always seems to be with the
right people.
trouble loves good company and
Wrong things,
work out just fine with the
right people.
do the
Wrong things,
with the right people. Wrong things. Right people. Wrong things.
right people. Wrong things, right people. Wrong things,
But it always seems to be with the
right people.
trouble loves good company and
Wrong things,
work out just fine with the
right people.
do the
Wrong things
with the right people. Wrong things with the right people.
Yeah!
That was for you all.
Right.
That's a fun one.
Nice. Brought this over so we'd have
Oh, very cool.
a better way of addressing the chat. And
Oh,
better look at it. Yeah, if anyone's in the chat and has questions about live streaming, about music, about creating videos, anything like that,
please ask.
Or just personal questions for Vince and Rod.
Yeah.
What other jelly beans they like.
Yeah,
Feel
that's
free
right.
to ask.
Bean Boozled, how about that?
Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
So actually, within the first couple months of us live streaming, when we did it ourselves the first time, a fan from Canada sent us a Bean Boozled, like the whole game
nice.
set with
Yep.
the spinner and the tin can and everything. So we did it on camera actually with our friends Boss Double 8, and we did it ourselves too, I think.
We did. That's how we started. When it first came in, it was I can't remember who sent it to us now.
I can remember the face, but I can't remember the name right now.
As soon as it came in, we did it, and it was the grossest thing I've ever
It
done.
was awful.
Oh, yeah?
It was awful. Actually, we
It was so hard to like chew those things, man.
Some friends of
You
ours.
got all the bad ones.
I did. I got most of the bad ones.
Which flavor did you think was the worst?
I think the like curdled milk or something.
Spoiled
like
milk
that.
is
Spoiled milk.
To me,
See,
it's
I
hands
did it,
down
but
the
I don't
worst.
remember that at all.
It would have remembered it.
Yeah, it just
You would have.
it really did smell like something had gone bad in my mouth.
And the thing is, like, have you played Bean Boozled?
I haven't.
So when you spin the spinner or whatever the thing they give you is, it gives you the color of the jelly bean.
Right.
And it could be something tasty or the other thing.
Oh, I've watched.
So like.
That's why I haven't done it.
Oh,
Is because I've watched
so
people
this-
do it.
So the spoiled milk, I think the alternate is like coconut, and I love coconut. So
See, I would
that
have
messes
found
with your
that
brain.
bad either way.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not a huge fan of coconut.
There you go.
Unless it's covered in dark chocolate, then I'm okay with it.
Our friend Josh, his kids have a channel called Nerd Schmerd, and we were meeting up with Josh because we do a podcast with him, and we stumbled into the tail end of their last video shooting they were doing. They were doing the Bean Boozled challenge, so we're watching these two little girls, probably under the age of 12,
young,
do Bean Boozled, and it was funny, but also I felt for them because I think the youngest one had the middle one had taken the dirty socks, the stinky socks one, and I was like, that wasn't the worst to me, but as a child, that'd probably be really traumatic.
Yeah, that seems bad.
And then we were arguing about like if the barf was worse than the spoiled milk.
There was another one that was really bad too. I think it was popcorn.
I like just popcorn.
Yeah, it was like a normal one.
Popcorn should be a good one.
Yeah, it just tasted awful.
I like the popcorn
to me at least. But
I
forget. There's so many more of those. There's like the barf one, and then
the only one I really remember was like the grass.
Oh, grass was one of them.
Grass clippings.
Yeah, grass clippings.
And then there was toothpaste.
Toothpaste is the best one.
Yeah, that's like mint.
It's just mint.
Yeah.
It's like having like gum.
Yeah,
right.
That sounds fun.
And then the alternate was like blueberry or something.
Both of those sound fun.
Yeah,
I would eat those together.
So whenever we got that after having spoiled milk, like, oh, thank God. Like,
it was a little palate cleanser.
Because the barf has the bite afterwards. The stink, like that.
Oh God. So anyway,
but the spoiled milk
it's like a bad root beer commercial.
Forever. You can't you try brushing your teeth and all. This is amazing.
So you've mentioned that you get a lot of gifts then in the mail from fans.
Yeah, we have a PO box.
So what are like the craziest things that you've gotten?
The craziest? So we have really nice things.
I would say, the craziest thing we've ever got in the mail was jade necklaces, like real jade necklaces.
From New Mexico?
I think they're from New Zealand.
Well, they might have been New Zealand bills from someone.
New Mexico would be turquoise.
I don't know where you're getting that from, but I'll just nod and be like, that's where it comes from.
And they were like hand carved or chipped. I don't know.
They were hand designed, and mine was in the form of a dragon or something, right?
Oh, mine was a shape, and I forgot. His was a dragon because of his tattoos.
Oh yeah.
And for those who don't know, Vince is half Japanese.
Yeah.
So he has a Japanese heritage there. I'm Korean by ethnicity, but I grew up in Indiana, so I don't.
So he's a country boy at heart.
Oh goodness.
But mine was in like a shape because at the time my Uncle Mike was going through cancer, and so that was one of the reasons this subscriber sent the necklaces because it was like good juju.
Jade is healing, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like hope Uncle Mike pulls through. So here's these jades supposed to help.
It's like a talisman.
It was really nice. It was really thoughtful and sweet. And then the same person, either in that same shipment or another one, sent it got like a drawing, like a color pencil drawing.
Oh my gosh!
Us and Granny Potty Mouth together.
And it's almost like they took
the thumbnail.
A thumbnail, yeah.
From the video of the first time we had ever met.
And that's what the picture is.
I always think fan art is like one of the aspects of internet fame that just seems so cool.
It's really cool.
It must be weird at the first time that you see someone draw you.
Yeah,
just the thoughts and everything.
He had two of them done by the same artist, so we could give one to Granny for her birthday.
That's awesome.
So we ended up doing a live stream where we surprised Granny.
Yeah.
I think we did live. I can't remember. It was structured like a live stream if it wasn't live.
Sure.
Yeah. I would love more art from people though too. If you guys want to send us more art, we have a PO box.
It's on all our socials.
You can put it out there if you want.
Yeah.
It's PO box.
I forget the actual
Never
number.
mind. Where would they find that?
Yeah,
actually, I think it's PO Box 50392. I only remembered that because I remember seeing it yesterday when I checked it.
Or just some random person's gonna get some pictures drawn of you guys.
Have you got any weird stuff in the PO box?
Weird stuff.
Beyond the Jade Dragon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think weird. Well,
Bean Boozled was the other one.
Someone sent us a Zippo lighter from ICP or something.
Oh yeah.
Because they were just fans of ICP and us, I guess.
Yeah.
It was nice though. It was nice.
I think I had said something about Zippos, and then they sent us one.
That is something that we have to keep track of. Is we'll say something in passing during a live stream, and then a month will pass. And then we'll get something in the mail, and then what is it? Oh, we referenced this once. We're which is sweet. It's just
you're gonna get so many jelly beans.
Actually, wouldn't mind it. I generally like jelly beans.
Just the licorice ones, though.
Yeah. There are things that we probably are forgetting, but
I'm trying. Well, we got the anise cookies.
Yeah.
Or
that was one of the best ones for me.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I went to go pick it up from PO Box, and they had tweeted something to the effect of, not that it was joking, but we didn't know. Maybe it would come to us, maybe not. And I picked up the box and I could smell it.
Oh, nice.
As they were delivering it, I was like, "Oh, this is
the cookies."
Thing.
I was so excited about those cookies. I opened them as soon as he pulled them into the car.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is the freshest they'll ever be.
Right. Have you had these type of cookies before?
I don't think so.
So they're supposed to be super hard. Like almost like biscotti, kind of like rock hard.
They're tough on the
So
outside.
you put them in coffee or
Oh,
something.
sure.
But when they're fresh, they're crunchy on the outside and soft in the middle. So when you first get them, that's the only time they'll be like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's where we're like, crack them open now. Like,
so like they're only good ones.
If I knew you like black licorice, man, I would have brought some for you.
Oh.
Next time.
That's all right. If there is a next time. For the cookies, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say,
For the cookies.
oh.
That was dark. I got dark.
I'm sure they're out here. Am I gonna?
Nervous laughter.
have you ever looked up those like Tumblr lists of like creepy things kids say?
Yes.
It's been a while.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She answered that way fast.
My favorite thing is just looking at lists, like random lists. My favorite one on Wikipedia is list of common misconceptions.
Ah,
You can
yes.
spend forever on that. It's incredible. Like,
Crazy.
but yeah,
The
I've
creepy
seen lots
kids.
of the ones.
My
with creepy
favorite,
kids,
my favorite
say.
one is the one where the dad's like tucking in his daughter at night,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Goodbye, Daddy," and he's like, "No, honey, that's good night." She's like, "Tonight it's goodbye."
Yeah, that's
Kids
cool.
are creepy.
Every time, like our friend Josh has 3 kids.
Yeah.
Every time he says something that happened, like, "Oh, the youngest one had a blowout," my only reaction is like, "I'm not ready for kids."
Have your kids ever said something really creepy, Sam?
Oh God, what was it? Yeah, when I was.
He's like, I blocked it.
He started a Tumblr.
Yeah.
No,
Therapist
yeah,
recommended
when my youngest was like just learning to talk, like there was 1 or 2 times where she said some things that made it sound like she had lived another life, kind of thing.
Whoa!
Like, I can't say it verbatim.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, like this guy who used to live here, but not now, like before. And we're like, what the hell are you talking about? What's happening?
I don't necessarily believe in stuff like that, but I'm
Yeah.
open to it.
That's
So
what
Yeah,
I once was
I'm glad I was
babysitting,
off camera when I said all of that.
And I was tucking this girl into bed, and she was like, Nikki, do you ever like just see ghosts around?
Whoa.
But she said it so casually, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm going to bed, just nighttime discussion.
You ever just shiver, dude?
Like, see dead people. I'm like,
Right.
good night.
Yeah, she wasn't joking.
Yeah, it's weird.
I say stuff like that all the time, I feel like. Only because that reaction is what a lot of my friends do to me, and I don't even remember what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen where there are these like studies where children at certain ages like are still connected to certain pasts of other people, or they can see like ghosts and things at a young age, and then eventually you like lose that sensory, I guess. And do you ever hear about any of that stuff?
I love
same here.
I love that.
I'm a huge conspirator.
Me too.
I'm so
What's your
fascinated.
favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess the one that's been talked about the most for us was the Mandela effects.
Well, yeah, classic one.
It's a little side note though.
Yeah.
Vince is so into conspiracy theories. One of the original candidates for our band name was My Fellow Conspirator.
Yeah.
It's still the name of like a production arm.
Yeah, we've decided to still use it somewhere.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah, frequently, like either we're writing or just doing something, Vince will be on his phone and look over and like, have you heard about this thing?
Yeah, I'm like, the Anunnaki, man, they're coming.
My favorite conspiracy theory is that the Middle Ages never happened.
Whoa!
I'm just saying.
I'll talk to you about this
Holy
afterwards.
cow.
Yeah.
That just
don't you
piqued my
worry.
interest.
Yeah.
You know who's a big conspiracy theorist that I, not recently, but I didn't guess and then happened? So, long story, but way back before I was doing like music full time, a friend of mine was making a movie, and this is back in Delaware, so it was very unheard of. But it was a fully funded film. I think it's on like Amazon or Netflix now or whatever. It's called Mayor Cupcake.
Okay.
I'm credited as jerk at concert. It was a much more profane word than jerk before, but it's since down. But
Appreciate it.
It stars Judd Nelson and Leah Thompson.
Oh, that's great.
And it was the debut for Leah Thompson's daughter,
Okay.
who sang, and it was amazing. And now she's on a Disney show or Nickelodeon show.
Sure,
Or something.
of course she is.
Right.
But Judd Nelson, my whole thing was I was supposed to be in the way while he was trying to record his daughter on a camcorder, like singing for the first time. And so the way was blocked. I had to stand on Mark in front of him for like hours on end, mainly because I was really bad. Because I was an actor. I begged my friend, like, don't put me in this movie. And he was like, I want all my friends to be in this. I'm like, I'm not a good actor. So I had no lines, but my movements weren't consistent. So every time something happened, Judd would like flawlessly deliver his lines, and then the director would be like, "You moved your left arm instead of your right one this time." I'm like, crap, you know. But while we were waiting for resets, because we were in the club, so there was literally 100 things that had to be reset every time I messed up.
Right. Oh my god.
And so Judd would be like, "You know, the swine flu vaccine is just a mind control device for the government."
Oh my god.
Like,
what?
I probably heard more than that. I was like, I can't go anywhere. I'm locked, like right here, to hear this all. You should have been there.
Crazy, yeah. I would have been like, well, HAARP's a real thing, and they can control the weather.
You know what's funny? Not funny, but
I mean, all of that?
That's funny.
All of that?
My ignorance. So we saw an early screening of Rampage before it came out, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's not really a spoiler, but the crux of it is all kind of like this sci-fi version of CRISPR, which is already sci-fi.
Sure.
If you're not familiar with CRISPR, it's like gene editing stuff. I thought it was fictional for the Rampage movie.
No, it's creepy stuff.
So then, I don't know, months and months passed, the movie came out and everything, and then I saw the thing about was it a Chinese scientist?
Yeah.
That like used CRISPR on like unborn babies.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw a whole.
It's a huge.
I didn't see that either.
Talk,
oh, really?
About it. Yeah.
Makes it legitimate.
He's under like investigation under like multiple countries because it like he did it without permission.
John Oliver did a segment on it.
Yes, I love John Oliver.
So then that blew my mind because he's usually the one like, did you see this thing? I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
I'll see this thing reading about Emerald
the Rampage thing is like for real.
Like super babies or like shrimp head babies?
I think
only two options.
I think his goal was that they knew that they were going to have a genetic disease, so he edited it out.
Ooh.
Wow.
Or something.
The worry is that then you can like make designer babies.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then they don't know what the long-term repercussions of that are. You know, like they're
that's scary.
Down the line.
Right.
So they were saying he's under investigation, but we won't know for like 30 more years. You know.
But you know what's really behind that, right? The Illuminati.
That's right, Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z's the Illuminati now.
Now.
Yeah, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
We've always been
part of it. All right. I'm sorry. I haven't been on the internet for an hour. My bad.
Yeah, right.
We should maybe pitch a conspiracy theory show to
I'm always down. I love conspiracy theories. I love talking about them, but you have to be careful because just because I my favorite one is that the Middle Ages never happened. But I don't actually believe it, you know. Yeah. But I love talking about it.
Yeah, it's a fun thing.
But people are
like a flat
she's
earth
crazy. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I love talking about flat earth.
There's something that's a little too current for me to specify what it is and who told me this. But there was something else that has been a big social media conspiracy theory, and I mentioned it in passing to a friend that actually works at the place that's in charge of this thing that supposedly the conspiracy theory is under. And I was like, isn't that ridiculous? Let's say Fred, and he's like, oh yeah, so bad news and worse news. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's that's not true. But the worst news is it's much worse than you think. So the theory everyone has is almost a distraction. It was wrong, but they're just letting it be wrong because there's something worse happening.
It's like global warming.
Happy holidays.
All right.
Say, oh, lovely sweaters. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Made it myself. Not really.
Wait, where's a bug? What bug? Where?
Was it flying in front of the? It'd be funny if it was crawling on one of the.
It's just let's try it.
That's not a plug-in.
Dude, that reminds me, when over 10 years ago, I was working this day job at an AV company, and it was a small company, but so whenever the alarm would go off, one of the owners of the company would have to come down, 2 in the morning or something, and turn it off or call the police or something, tell them not to come, and it was going off every couple hours one night. And then the next day, the owner opened up the sensor that kept going off, and it was a nest of spiders, and it kept tripping, motion detector.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's awesome.
Happy Halloween.
Nice. Yeah, there's that. We have an outdoor one for our light, and there's that plastic casing in front of the sensor, but it broke. So now just the wind sets it off.
That's
oh wow,
so crazy.
That's good.
Yeah.
One of my hand-me-down cars for my mom when I was a teenager. Well, it was a big old lady car. It was a Bonneville, and she had this. She was so paranoid, so she had this alarm system put in that if you just breathed within 100-mile radius of it, it would go off. So the first car I bought, I was no alarms, but I got low jack because I was if they steal it, I'll just track it.
Oh yeah. Did they steal it?
It's supposedly it's not actually been stolen so far. We're part of Santa Monica, so I don't know. But it's told me that my car's been stolen while I've been driving it sometimes.
That fob, man.
Yeah, because you have to have like your keys next to it, and I guess when the battery dies.
Oh.
So then it like alerts the authorities and texts me and everything.
Nikki, don't worry about it. The screen keeps going off. Look, you can have this one. It's okay. We have this to monitor the chat.
All right.
Do that or we don't see the chat. I forgot our iPad one lets you do that. The phone you can't turn it to landscape or it just goes to picture.
Ah, gotcha.
And that's a great segue. So we should do some music.
I was gonna say, what are we playing? I wanted to talk about this next song we're playing, but I'm not sure if it's the right one or not.
I don't know. We could pick one.
Which one are we doing? We decided an order of songs before we got here, and then like there was gonna be segues between them, and I always wait for like conversation points to bring me there.
Yeah.
But this one didn't happen.
You want to do like a word clue, and I can try and do something.
Should we Mad Libs it?
Do you want to do Only You?
Only You? We could do that.
So brief like segue into this, I guess. So this is from my solo album days, but Vince was part of that songwriting process. This song though, Vince wasn't part of the songwriting of, but he was there when like the event that inspired the song happened. And I guess it's fitting for the holidays. It's kind of magical. I've been like really, really depressed for a long time, so Vince like broke into my house and was like, "We're gonna go to an open mic." And so like we
just get out of your house.
We played this open mic. I hadn't showered in like a week or something, and we walk into this place back where we live on the East Coast, or lived then on the East Coast. And I see this girl who's singing the open mic.
Right.
And the thing that's never happened my entire life, even my teenage years, that happens in movies, like time slows down, you hear like slow music. And I was like, oh yeah, like I fell in love like instantly, you know? And so wrote a whole song about like time stopping, about this moment.
Was that before or after the bottle you drank?
Yeah, right? But that never turned into like a full-fledged relationship because obviously it was like, this is real world stuff.
Right.
But this person still has been like one of my best friends and like big part of my life. Yeah. Still doesn't know the song's written about her.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the only one. He's the only one that knows. He's done a very good job keeping that secret.
Nice.
Mostly because I forgot.
Cool.
So is this one you want to do it?
Yeah, we'll do that. All right.
Literary background.
That's pretty dope.
Thank you.
You know what'd be fun? I know this is not possible for right now, but like, you know those ones that change color when you write?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The two-colored sequin thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've seen some that are different images.
Yeah, I saw one that when you do it, it's Nicolas Cage.
That's hilarious.
That's the whole
It's like, it was a pillow, and like he went like this, and it just turned into his face, and I'm like,
That's hilarious.
Little tune job. This is just part of it. The song already started. We were just like,
is this part of the story?
yeah.
All right. Sound checking for a half an hour.
Yeah, what if that was like a stand-up?
Like an Andy Kaufman-esque.
Like guy gets out, he tunes his guitar, and then when he's done, he just cleans his stuff up and walks off stage.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. People would not get that at all. I fear.
LA, I feel like you don't know what's like performance art.
Yeah.
It's not so everybody just kind of
Watches.
pretends they get it. And
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I guess I didn't do a good job.
I know someone out there's had to do it, but like write a tuning song that like incorporates.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
I've definitely heard like the harmonics thing where you're like ding ding,
Oh, yeah.
ding ding, and then like they go into it.
Our friend Chris Trapper, he's famous for a lot of people are famous for doing that. He's famous for doing that. He also incorporated it into a song he wrote for a movie called I can't remember, August Rush. The main song that Jonathan Rhys Meyers sings, our friend Chris Trapper wrote. And it has all this harmonic.
Yeah, nice.
Be a good opening.
All right.
Let's go.
Might be a little too much space. Oh, Oh, I see only one. Oh, in a crowded room. Oh,
I see only you. There is only you. When the day has gone, I see only one. In a crowded room, there is only you.
Yay!
Yay!
So is she gonna find out now that it's about her?
Oh no, I still haven't said anything.
I don't know if that story will ever come out.
Probably not. I'm too insecure.
Well, you'll be on your deathbed.
Probably.
That was you. Yeah, it was always you.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah.
You should have told me no. Oh.
I had all those failed marriages.
Yeah, what was it saying? I was really drunk at a YouTube party once. I met this girl, and I was so drunk that I think everybody else was trying to be very respectful. A, because she's a person, but B, she was like some high up at like a big company or something.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all inhibitions were gone, and I was like, you would make a great third wife. In my head, it was a compliment.
Right.
And she got me because she gave me her number after that. But
Oh my god.
because
I remember like there was like 4 or 5 of us standing around with him and this girl, this woman, and all of us were like, "Ooh."
yeah, they all took a step back.
And then she just like looked around and was like, started laughing.
My
And,
number.
yeah, she thought it was a joke.
Nice.
I don't think it was.
But the process in my head was like, oh yeah, you're gonna mess it up a few times, and then that's.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that always accidentally steps over the line of good taste. I'm like, oh, whose tattoo's named on there? They die or something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's why you would get that name tattooed on there.
That's like a perfect example of that.
Yeah. Sorry, Leah.
Yeah. I don't even want to try to make my own up.
A more embarrassing story.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, again, I wasn't on screen for this story.
You know what we can do though is the next one. I guess we can play the slower one,
Oh, yeah.
and then so the next song it will be another one of those stories, but we'll wait to talk about that until a little
Well, no,
bit.
I mean, we're kind of like
we
spent all our talking time up front. We should
Sure.
We should move
Oh,
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. let's
Okay,
do
so
that.
here's another weird kind of story. Is this next song we're gonna play is called "Version of Us," and kind of the meaning of the song is like if you literally think about a version of yourself and trying to be better than you were the next day or better than you were in the past, and
Sometimes it's worse.
yeah, sometimes it's not what you want it to be, but.
I feel like Vince and I just recently started catching up on Black Mirror. We had
Yes.
never watched it. We watched all the seasons now. I think we have 2 more left.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
We watched 2 more episodes. We watched all of it now in like 2 weeks or something.
Talk about conspiracy.
So
I was about to say, yeah.
But I feel like this next song would have fit well in the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Thematically, because the situation Vince was talking about.
I might start tuning
Yeah,
now.
there you go. there was a thing that happened, kind of traumatic to the 2 of us, but for one reason or another, both of us were incapacitated, so we don't actually have a physical recollection of the event.
Crazy.
But there were 16 other people, probably more, that all were there, eyewitness as close as we are.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different story.
Oh,
That none of them corroborate with the other one.
weird.
And so we were just talking about because if it went some people's ways, we shouldn't be friends anymore. There's other people it was the greatest part of our friendship, We're like, well, what do we do? We don't actually have either of us don't have any recollection.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we wrote this song about how something can happen and people who were right there could all have different perspectives on the same thing. And it kind of parallels also whether it's a relationship or a friendship or family. When you're in your honeymoon period, at that moment, your version of yourself or that relationship where you're like, it'll always be this way, you know? And then when you end up somewhere else, you're like, that version of us said that this version of us would never exist. And that's pretty much what this this thing's about. So we kind of wrote as therapy for ourselves, and then once we started, like, we played it for a friend. Actually, I remember our friend James was the first person to hear it.
That's right, I forgot about
and
that.
And we have a phone recording the first time we ever played it.
Oh, yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah, and
it's actually pretty damn good, too. It's not what the original, or the final form of the song ended up being, but it's damn close.
But it was one of those things that had, like, I know we hear this term a lot on social media, but it had, like, very organic growth. Like, we just played it in the bedroom, and then more people liked it, and then we put it in an album, then it became the name of the album. Now, we play it everywhere, and it's like, this is kind of cheesy to say, but it's kind of hard not to get emotional sometimes if the right associations come back. But people like hearing it, I guess. So
that's awesome.
Here we are, but are you good?
Yep.
I'm gonna get some water. So I'm recovering from a red 40 food coloring poisoning thing. That's not an excuse for anything, but if you see me chugging more water, that's why.
Conspiracy!
This water.
It is one of the weirder.
We all know it's pure vodka. Come on.
Maybe. Yeah. Is that an option here?
Yeah. Okay. I think we have that.
What, weird water?
No, pure vodka.
Oh. All right. Let's see. I might need to jazz guitar it, which means the guitar sits way up here. Jazz players, they play with the guitar so high it looks like it's under their neck. But this is a very picky song, so I have to have good posture. All right, let's try it. Everything good? Das gut? Sorry to let you down. Took too long to decide to do something. What am I gonna do now? It's too late to say nothing happened. This version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never become this version of us. Waiting for a sign of life for you to say something, fall apart, tumbling down. If I'm broken, well, I'm not sure. Sorry to let you down. Took too long to decide to do something. What am I gonna do now? It took too long to decide to do something. This version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together. That version of us that used to be enough, said that we would never become this version of us. This version of us that version of us
that used to be enough.
Oh. This version of us, these pieces of trust, try to put together that version of us that used to be enough. Tried that we would never become this version of us. Yeah.
Yay!
What's the time? Should we just close up on the last one?
Yeah, you want to do the other one right now? It's 4:05, so yeah.
Let's do it.
Talk a little, wrap it up.
This song's one that accidentally became our most popular song by far on every chart personally for us, and it was literally supposed to be a throwaway song. So for musicians out there, the song's called F, C, D minor, B flat. It's the most generic chord pattern ever, and it repeats over and over. Vince and I were once again drunk at a YouTube party, and when we first moved to LA, we got very used to ending up at parties that we didn't know what the purpose of they were for. We were just at something.
Yeah.
And so this happened. Then we got home, and we were like, if our exes could only see us now, because all of them, family, friends, not all friends and family, but like all of our exes and like friends and family, some had told us like, you should go out there. LA's brutal, blah blah, all this stuff. And so we came out and did this. And
You make it sound nice.
What's up?
You make it sound nice. They're more like, you guys should give up.
Yeah. But then we were like, well, I don't know. The worst days here are still better than some of the better days doing something we didn't love doing. So we wrote this song about how much better life is now that we're like on our path instead of someone else's. The beauty of, at least for me, of the Poetic Justice a couple of years later was we ended up at the Wonder Woman premiere, and there's some video footage, and we were kind of prominently displaying whatever news report this was. And the ex that my portion was written about texted me with a screen cap, "It's you," and I sent her the song. So it was exactly what it was about. Ready?
Oh, that's way too much reverb.
That's the song.
Yay!
Wrote this song at a party for somebody I don't know. Got invited by a girl that I met an hour ago.
Everybody is a friend of a friend or a movie star. They start to sing along when I pick up my guitar. That's why
I wrote this song for you.
That's why you had to know the truth when you hear this song on the radio. You hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why
this could have been you. Sharpish with your favorite band, now we're best friends. Hope you're getting by alright with your backup plan.
you're living for the weekend, I forgot what day it is. Would've called you out by name, but can't remember it. That's why
I wrote the song for you.
That's why you had to know the truth when you hear this song on the radio. You hear my voice and then you'll know. That's why this could have been you.
For every time you said I'd be alone.
For every chance I took on my own.
For every dream you couldn't see.
For every time you doubted me. That's why
I wrote this song for you.
That's why you had to know the truth when you hear this song on the radio. You hear my voice and then you'll know that's why. That's why
I wrote this song for you.
That's why. You had to know the truth when you hear this song on the radio. You hear my voice and then you'll know that's why.
This could have been you.
This could have been you. This could have been you.
Yay!
All right. Thanks, guys.
No, thank you.
Oh.
Fantastic.
So did she respond back when you sent that song?
I don't think so. Actually, and it's funny because I didn't check or follow up or anything. She might have heard it before because it'd been out for a little while. But it was like a perfect. I couldn't think of a more perfect response. It's like, this is you. It's like, could have been you.
Nice.
I like the ones that kind of know it's about them. Like try to, be bigger than themselves, and they'll write like, it's a really great song. Like I like this part, and I'm like reading out like, I know you don't really mean this.
Yeah.
That happened.
But I appreciate you being a bigger person.
That happened before. There was something that like we put out a song recently that was about like a very specific disagreement between us and a friend, and so at the end of a long stories, we ended up like agree to disagree. This was like hours. Like we got there like at dinner and didn't leave till like 8 in the morning. We like agree to disagree, but it doesn't give you that emotional fulfillment or closure that you want.
Yeah.
So we wrote a song about it instead.
Nice.
And then we put it out there, and a lot of people identified with it. But then the person it was about didn't say that they knew, but behavior changed. We'll just put it that way.
Oh, weird.
Everything just kind of changed because it was like in
sure.
perspective. It was like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's the really cool thing for me about songwriting is, for me at least, I am always misunderstood when I speak. So we'll always hear something different. I don't specify enough. I had a speech impediment as a kid, and when I get like tired or drunk or something, it comes back. But whenever I write songs or we write songs or anything, it's not only understood, but there's like more meanings than even I intended, than we intended for, and that's really beautiful to me because I spent the rest of my life being misunderstood.
Well, it's tough because like, you want to be heard, and it's hard to find a platform where people will actually hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for us, it's music. Like we're able to find closure, find all these different things through just putting our music out there. So that's a huge thing for me. It's definitely helped me balance my life. Instead of like, the whole time.
Just constant screaming.
Yeah, just like write music, and it helps.
Is that the second album?
Just constant screaming.
It's just
No,
Scream out.
Is that the title?
That's the lyric sheet.
I think most
That'd be
people, when they
great.
find out that like we're not great writers of like assignments, somebody's like, write a song about this. It could happen, but the things that people remember the most are things that happen like in our lives, and then we put it into song. And that sounds really generic, but it's true. And then I think with people seeing that, if they go back and listen to our songs and pay attention to lyrics and things, they'll start seeing us in a whole new light. Because even like speaking of like a couple albums ago, there was a song called, this title says it all, She Hates Me, but She Loves This Song. Like when you start looking through stuff through that lens, it's like, oh yeah, they're jerks.
I love that lyric video. There's a point where like stick figures, like the woman stick figure kicks the guy stick figure in the nuts, and then 2 like balls fall.
Yeah, the lyric video is basically like the male-female like restroom sign thing.
Oh yeah.
And the female one's just kind of like kicking the crap out of the male one the whole time, like knocking his head off, like kicking his balls off and stuff.
She only stays around for the music.
Well, that one is a really short version of the story. That one came from like there's another friend, like a good friend, not a romantic thing, but like we at the time when we first met. Like we were all like pretty hammered. All our stories start this way.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that.
I almost said something earlier about that.
But we were at like a show or a party or something, and she was like, she does not like dancing with me, but she loves this song. So we're in the moment together, and that's beautiful.
That's awesome. We should probably wrap things up. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah.
On Mobcrush, we're RKVC. Rod Kim, Vince Serino, and as well as virtually every other live streaming platform thanks to these guys. Mixer,
how's
Twitch.
Mixer going for you guys?
It's pretty good. Like we, a lot of random people dropping in.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably explain why that's happening.
Yeah.
But like they drop
probably
in.
Could. I'm not going to.
We finally started getting people to stick around on Mixer too, like Squire numbers. His name is like Squire and then like 4 numbers. He actually like responds and talks and comes in every other Sunday. He's like the first one out of Mixer to like do those things, you know.
Right.
So it was like cool, it's working. Like I'm glad, even if it's slow, as long as we see some sort of like progress.
And that simulcast also goes to YouTube, which is also somewhere we've put a lot of videos on, and we've been recently posting a lot of our music, either audio videos or lyric videos, and then all the music services like Apple Music, Spotify, RKVC.
Spotify.
We have a lot of.
Is Spotify your go-to for music promotion?
I think we've been pushing Spotify more this year than we've ever pushed Spotify.
Because we finally realized it's like what the kids are into.
Gotcha.
I'm still in like I like putting like CDs.
Right.
Yeah.
I was looking at vinyls the other day.
We were shopping for vinyls yesterday.
Yeah.
Not ironically, like I was like, what did I actually want?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And the closest I come to digital is I use the Apple Music Match.
Yeah.
Because I have like a huge personal library because of us working in music. We have a lot of demos and things that just aren't in the market from friends, and that Apple Music Match like puts all the stuff on the cloud for me back into my phone.
Keeps that clean.
But yeah,
phone
this is a long ways of saying like we weren't too familiar with Spotify, but we were really actually been pushing it, or we're trying to push it now. But we went to go look at our numbers at the end of this year because they give you that big thing that tells you how well and not well you're doing. Yeah, we were really surprised, like for not like promoting it up until like October. The numbers weren't that bad.
And we streaming in 62 countries.
Oh wow!
Some of our friends are like in 65 countries, so we have stuff to work on.
Yeah, gotta get that guy in Antarctica.
That's right. Yeah, I know. I want them all, man.
But we were really grateful because like we hadn't really consciously put that much effort into it.
It was Pandora before.
Oh yeah,
like, and it's still Pandora, but Pandora we were like in contact with all the time, and no matter what we sent them, they would accept. And that's a big thing for Pandora. Like a lot of our friends have sent things and just not got in.
Is it quality or is it content?
I think it's a little bit of both.
They say it's quality. Like they have things they want to curate.
Right.
But
they loved our Christmas album though.
Yeah.
And Pandora had bought like the music rights or something like that to what is played in like Walmart or not Walmart, Walgreens and stuff like that, like the terrestrial radio. I don't know if it's terrestrial or if it's digital.
Like the places that you normally hear Muzak.
Yeah.
Like that company, or I don't know if it was Muzak exactly, but it was like DMX Music or something.
Yeah.
They would do like in-store like Walgreens and stuff. Like Pandora bought them or something.
Yeah,
okay.
So you could be in a Walgreens and hear an RKVC song.
That's crazy.
The last few years.
Cool.
And I wish it wasn't my mom, but she hit me up and she's like, I heard your song in the Walgreens. I'm like, sweet.
Well,
thanks, Mom.
Actually, that's a good thing to point out. We have a Christmas album that's been out for a little while now.
Yeah.
But if you can look it up. It's just literally just called Christmas by RKVC.
Nice.
And then we added a couple songs. Last year we did Joy to the World, and then this year we did Jingle Bells.
And the album cover is a vinyl in the shape of a snowman.
Yeah.
It's 3 vinyls.
Aww.
That's cool.
It's cool. Thing.
The chat room says, Creed Bro says Spotify is better, and then It's Not Sauce says, Sam, tell them SoundCloud is the way to go.
SoundCloud.
We're on SoundCloud as well.
Yeah.
He said, I'm on SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah.
We love SoundCloud. It's been a great collaborative tool for us.
If you look on SoundCloud, RKVC stuff's on there, but also on RKVC's channel. Some of you might know us from NerdSync collaborations. We don't do covers, but another band that's very much like us called the Nice Wanderers do covers. You might find the Nice Wanderers on our SoundCloud as well.
We should have them in sometime.
Right.
I know, right?
Can we do a battle of bands?
We just keep like switching from side to side of the stage, like.
You have to take the vest off.
Yeah.
We haven't actually come up with a look for them.
Or like they're the blue shirt, red vest or black vest.
Yeah.
It should be like the Gorillas. It's just projection.
I just realized that you're actually wearing the vest this time. The last time I saw you guys, it was like the t-shirt with the vest on it.
Yeah, we get lazy sometimes.
Usually when we roll into the Mobcrush offices, we're like having lunch at the promenade out here.
Oh, nice.
And so we're just wearing and it's like usually 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
So we were just wearing t-shirts with the vests printed on them.
Yeah.
Normally we wear the real vest, and then now it's festive, we have our sweaters.
Yeah, this little shirt thing.
Sweater t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, wait, back to me. That is Chris back there.
Hey.
One of the two main engineers keeping us afloat.
Nice. Yeah, real quick, just wanted to thank you guys for putting in the time, setting up all this stuff, and
anytime, really.
Hanging with us.
Everybody here does so much work. I don't know if anybody's been able to see like all the Mobcrush stuff. Whenever we come to visit, there's so many people here.
Yeah, it's a little dead now because of the holidays. But normally there's a lot more people back there.
There's so many people back here for us to be able to push a button for something to work.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And just the being able to throw you guys questions and like things that may work better for everyone.
Yeah.
And then the next, like not even the next week, it's there, it's ready to go, and it works. Yeah. So this is like the coolest time we've ever had with a company as far as like working closely.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate you guys.
Nice. Do you have a wish list of features for
you know it.
For Mobcrush?
There's always a list of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it may not even make sense.
This is the time to get it out because we're
the turn.
Start figuring out our roadmap for 2019.
It's cool, man. You got new builds coming?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, man,
you guys,
exciting.
You guys had us in for some input on some secret projects.
Oh yeah,
coming
up.
We're
part of that.
We can't wait for like the public to find out.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be super cool.
That's great. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah. No, thank you guys for coming. I would totally love to have you guys. You guys can come back whenever you want.
Yeah, seriously.
Like we're gonna be doing a 2 weekly shows. One's gonna be a more casual show Friday afternoons. Ever just want to come by for that?
Yeah,
feel free.
Play some video games?
Oh
yeah. It's gonna be like party games, video games, and whatever.
I just got Vince a Switch for Christmas.
Oh, nice!
You guys play Smash?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say we were supposed to do Smash this week.
I purchased it.
And then for myself for Christmas, I bought Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 on Sega Genesis.
Oh!
And we have the Retron, the one that plays NES, Super Nintendo.
Nice.
We'll bring it if you guys want to throw it down because Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite game ever.
Even with the
I'm like too good at that.
Even with the Nintendo Switch.
I suck at video games these days. I'm like the worst now.
They take too much commitment. Remember we were kind of casual with video games back in the day?
You guys are just slow.
That's what I'm sitting here like.
Well, like Mortal Kombat, you can play for like 30 seconds and then put it down and miss a beat. If I go into any of these other games, I have to like commit literally a day.
Yeah.
Or something. Like the other day, you were making some food and we were getting ready to watch like Black Mirror or something. I beat Mortal Kombat 2 in the time it took you to make dinner. I like that.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Games have like a 3-hour time play.
Yeah. Like I'm so ready to play this Breath of the Wild. I'm so late on playing this game. But I'm so excited. And that's not going to be like a 10-minute game.
Yeah, that's a commitment.
Yeah. Ready to put a ring on.
Yeah. You guys, thanks so much for having us.
Of course.
And for all of you out there listening, Mobcrush, you have to try it.
And if we do this again, we're going to bring some friends with us.
Yeah.
Everybody's left Los Angeles, which is beautiful, but also like tough to get guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, we'll do a more official, like actual thing in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. We get to figure things out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Each time we'll make it better. Next time we'll have real cameras.
Third one.
Third one.
That's all right.
Little late never happened.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone.